Karin!
Karin! Karin! Oh shit!
The eldest daughter, Karin, had an unspeakable secret. You see, she was not a blood sucker, but a blood
giver. She would give blood.
A blood maker. Sort of an.
It shines on that body, though.
I know, man. It's weird though, because like real human bodies aren't that shiny, really. Like not. I guess they're kind of smooth
when they're wet. Oh god.
That's where the oil fetish comes from. Slather them up.
Yeah. It's Vina Sinclair! Whoa!
A winner, yeah.
Wow. That's how
you almost killed me!
Crying! Fucking hate crying. It's Sinclair from the beginning of the anime! That boy that she bit in the teaser! Oh! It was Vina Sinclair!
In the trailer!
Whoa! No, don't look at me, I'm looking at that! I gotta give them props for setting that up in this anime for so long ago. The first episode. That was good.
It is a most appropriate day that we come together.
Oh my goodness! Wow! Good lord!
Well, you know. He's a better guy than boring ass.
That's true. I'd rather be with Sinclair than with Kenta. His voice would drive me insane.
Kenta. You know, that reminds me. That's
good lord.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Leisureland.
Lord of the Mountain.
What is he wearing?
You're supposed to wear trunks, bro.
I'm going home. I'm mad at you.
Bitch.
Oh my god.
Your face.
She's trying so hard to be angry.
Miss Karen's friend and sidekick is also welcome.
Oh no.
Oh
yeah. I was gonna say.
Yes. God. Gracious.
Yes. Yes is the accurate. Yeah. You're the one who says you enjoy the thrill and the possibility of dying or getting hurt.
He has no nipples.
When you're on a slide, you're not strapped in.
No, not the possibility of dying. I never said that. You are purely safe in a roller coaster.
Getting hurt or something.
Not getting hurt, no. I never said I'd hate getting hurt.
Wait. But you told me to raise my hands in that one part because you're like, oh, you might get your arms chopped off.
Well, yeah, but you're totally safe. Then why would you say?
So if it's like a real threat?
You might get your hands cut off, but you're safe. Yeah, because because it tricks your brain. It's the tricking of your brain.
So if it's a real threat.
No, yeah, if it's a real threat, you don't want to get yourself involved in that.
Okay. Because you know the roller coaster isn't gonna chop your arms off.
Yes.
So why you just don't like getting wet?
I hate getting up my nose. I hate it slapping my butt as I go down. I'm so skinny, I skim across the water. And it hurts. So it's painful. And then it gets up my nose. And then I'm like choking on water. And then the sun, I hate hot. I hate warm things. And then if the water's cold, the sun is hot. I think it is. I am articulating myself.
Un-American.
You're amazing, Miss Karen.
No, I'm kidding. You have a right to not like being wet. I don't like being wet either, unless it's at the beach or in the shower or in the pool.
Dude, her boobs are coming out.
I know.
What I mean is, there are lots of girls cuter than me all over. So I was just thinking, why
fishing!
did you pick me?
She's fishing! Don't take the bait, wiener.
You are, Miss Karen.
He took it. He took the bait.
From that kiss, I was filled with newfound motivation and courage. I became a full-fledged vampire hunter. That kiss was the turning point. And that makes you my goddess of good
That's
fortune.
why you're so stupid. Yes!
The memory
I approve!
blood, it just came out!
Oh, right. He has a humongous phobia of blood.
No!
He does have his good points after all, don't you, winner? Huh?
He jizzed.
Isn't it good to be young?
Good to be young. This music feels like menu music for some like Japanese beach volleyball video game or something. You know what else this song reminds me of? This song reminds me of the type of song that you would see some fat, disgusting weeaboo girl on stage singing karaoke at an anime convention. That's what this song makes me think of.
Dang.
Has that happened to you?
Yes!
I can't believe you'd do something like that to a friend of mine's mom.
What?
Next time, Karen, speak for that's really embarrassing. Usui, I'll protect your mom no matter what.
So her older brother tries to fuck Usuri's mom.
Dang.
Well,
I mean, whatever floats his boat, man.
Checkity check.
I vote for a barbershop quartet.
A barbershop quartet?
I don't know what's wrong with me. What an episode, huh?
You know, I actually have some decent things to say about this one,
As do I.
surprisingly enough.
No, I don't think it's surprising. This was a lot different, actually.
You know, I'm really pleased with Vina Sinclair being introduced more entwined into Karen's life.
Yeah.
Like, he's an annoying character for sure, but it really brightens up the show to see someone who's not Kenta. Because Kenta, we were talking about this last episode.
It's absolutely boring.
Yeah, he is like the
He's
most
the
boring character
cardboard.
ever.
Yeah.
Is that Pinecone head?
Yeah, and his eyes always looks like he's got a scorpion up his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really like the idea that they finally brought back. I don't know why I never made this connection before. That Sinclair is the kid in the very first episode of the anime that she bit.
I don't remember.
I thought that kid was just like some teaser trailer at the beginning of the anime, and I love that 11 episodes in, halfway through the series, we're finally getting the resolve from that first. It's like Kenta's not really the main focus of the anime. The main focus is Sinclair. It's been Vina the whole time. Yeah. He wants to roll in the head with Karin.
That was... I agree. I was thinking the same thing. I think I hate Sinclair a lot less now. Mm-hmm. I found him just really annoying and stum, and like retarded and
like
stupid.
that.
Really annoying, yeah. And and I was like, shut the hell up. And he's still, the way he talks is a little too goofy for my taste. Like, no one talks like that. And again, I realize this isn't really realism here. Going into like having a whole episode where he wasn't really that annoying.
No, he was not.
He didn't scream at the top of his lungs and like, well, at the end, he's like, I'll take you to the hospital! Fight the blood! And he did, but like, you know, that's just how he is. And there was a reason for it. He was getting like, right. Oh my gosh, she's dying.
He didn't seem so much like a blundering idiot, how the fact that he brought up enough courage to ask Karin out. But you know, it's a sad thing how, like, Karin is such a fucking idiot. Yet, I mean, in this show, she only got 2 guys swooning over her, I guess. But Kenta is like your basic dude.
He's like,
well,
he's
he
so
is a bitch,
generic.
I guess. He's very generic,
So
and he's your basic guy. And then you have Wiener Sinclair, who's like emulating the interesting guy, the weird guy, like that you don't want to bring home to your parents, but he's so fascinating and it makes girls tingle. And I think that this whole show is really Karin going after the vampire hunter. Plus, it's like the perfect that stupid saying that's not true, where opposites attract. You know they're gonna go to that. You know that they're gonna do that, where it's like, because he's a vampire hunter, and because Karin made him a vampire hunter, and that she's a vampire, and the fact that her parents are gonna hate him, and that's gonna provide. And actually, you know what? That's a good thing in this show because there's been no conflict. Her parents like Kenta. There's been no conflict this whole show, and I'd love to see a little bit of conflict.
They're kind of, sorry, I interrupted. But they're I mean, his dad's like a boy, and he's like this.
Generic though.
I know, but like he's not like warming up to him or anything.
Yeah, but he's definitely not gonna let Wiener Sinclair into their home.
That's true, even more so.
Yeah.
I really think like
what are you doing? What are you?
You James has been trying to talk
Has
for a
he?
minute. Yeah.
Okay, just real quick.
And he keeps saying something and you cut him right off.
No way.
Yes.
No, he's
Yeah,
anything.
he's been saying words like he's been starting sentences.
I thought you were just saying, oh yeah,
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I didn't notice. I would have stopped if I noticed. But
James is like, and I think coming from David.
I'm really sorry. Okay, just to finish up, yeah, I don't think they spent way too much time shoving this Usui Karin romance down our throats, and I don't think it would spend that. Well, I mean, I don't think this is that clever of a show to be like, oh, this boy she's been in love with for 11 episodes, well, it was actually the vampire hunter, and that's her. I don't think they're clever enough to do that.
What you're saying about there's the new interesting characters, like, literally the only thing, it's not even interesting, the only thing Usui has about him is that he doesn't get fed and his mom's home.
Oh yeah, and he hates.
That's it.
He's sick of tomatoes too.
He's got a pretty sucky life.
It's boring. No, and
does.
girls don't like boring guys. So
Girls don't like Kenta, that's for sure.
Oh, that is
Fucking
not a
Porcupine
woman's
Man.
type. Absolutely.
No, yeah, and what you were saying, Kenta's relationship with Karin does not seem beneficial to the show because it's not developing the characters at all. Like, by now, we should start seeing Karin maybe benefiting the lives. And when she bit the mom and, like, made her happy and not depressed, that didn't help them at all. That got the mom in, like, terrible situations. So there's no benefit to the family. The characters are not developing
really
at all
useless.
from this relationship.
But biting Winner helped him build up his courage and make his family proud.
Yeah, and so I feel like story-wise, there seems to be more character. I mean, this one episode I feel like had more character development just because they revealed something that they planted in the first episode, that it was Wiener Sinclair the whole time. And I feel like now that we know and we made that connection that Wiener is that first guy that she bit, they have this spiritual connection from the very beginning, from their childhood. And I think Wiener is definitely gonna have a much bigger part in this anime. Maybe he'll find out that she's a vampire and her family's a vampire, and maybe he'll have to make the choice between becoming an official vampire hunter, making his family proud, killing her family, or falling in love with Karin and running off with her, or at least saying no and protecting her family from the vampire hunter. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think she might end up with Kenta, but I think the biggest conflict in the show is that Winter Sinclair is going to have to kill her family. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Maybe I'm just thinking. Maybe I'm thinking this anime is too good. Maybe I'm trying to make it like
That's
sound
exactly
like a
what
good
you're
anime.
doing.
It's not as good, is it?
In a very well written, cleverly written, creative mind would have come up with something like that.
The most that's gonna happen, like he's gonna get sent back to
But-
freaking America or something.
but I
she's
think-
gonna get with that plane dude.
I was like on a roll too, and then it hit me.
It's really too bad. It's kind of like what happened with Fruits Basket, where you're like, dude, it would be so cool if they're like
mom was a freaking
Zodiac
Zodiac
hunters,
hunter.
and like there's this whole thing you talked about. I don't remember, some sort of like war or whatever, or an extermination thing. Anyway, but yeah, I don't think it's good enough to do anything that interesting. I think.
And, you know, I thought it was an interesting commentary on life itself. How Karin, instead of having the courage enough to go on a date with Wiener Sinclair, or at least as friends to the water park, she has to invite her friend along, green-haired girl over here. I forget her name, Kokiri kid. There's that kind of, it's kind of exempling that group mentality that a lot of women have. And I mean, women do like to travel in packs generally. You know, it makes them feel safer. And not safer, I'm not talking about any threats of violence or anything like that from the guy. I'm just talking about they feel safe in a crowd because they can always defer to their friend. And if they have to, they can always, you know, go, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, come with me? And then the girls go to the bathroom and they can talk about you and they can strategize and stuff like that. And it's interesting how in modern day, like, socializing with everybody, there's this lack of willingness to spend time with people one-on-one and really get to know people. And I feel like women in general are propagators are like the biggest propagators of that type of mentality that you need a group with you at all times, and that it's really hard to just ask out a girl by herself. I mean, it's not hard to ask her out. It's hard for her to say yes. Oh. It's hard to find a girl that's like, yeah, I'll go hang out with you, unless like, she knows you or something from friends for a long time, you know. And then even that, even as just friends, like when you're hanging out with friends and stuff, and it's just this culture we live in. It's just really, I thought that was a cool kind of like touch on that culture, you know, like kind of commentary through anime, through writing, storytelling. I thought it was cool. Whether they meant that or not, it's kind of what I noticed in it. And did you notice that in Japan, in these shoujo animes, the fetishizing of men is always the skinny ones? Mm-hmm. You notice that?
That's how they like
always
them.
The skinny, trimmed ones.
Yeah. They're not as into muscular men as American are, I guess.
Oh, you know what else I hated? Was when she was sitting at on the bridge there with him, and she was like, oh, there's so many girls more attractive than me or more beautiful than me. It was like, dude, she's fishing. She's fishing, bro. And he fell for it, like a fucking dumbass he is.
Well, he is dumb.
They not insult themselves, but they put themselves down on purpose so that you can be like, oh no,
I've known many
you're
people
not
do
like that. It's like, no, when people put themselves down, all of my reaction is always just like, well, because it's like, well, if you think that, then by all means you must be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you are stupid. I guess you're like me then.
Stupid.
I wouldn't know much about that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, sometimes people do need some encouragement.
Yeah.
But I don't encourage really high self-esteem.
Well, I think. Well, I don't. Oh,
I feel. You know, perfect.
It's better to have high self-esteem than low.
But like,
Is it? Go ahead. Yeah, because low you're closer to suicide. At least high you're just arrogant.
I mean, like in like Friends, I guess, because like Isaac has a really high self-esteem, and like talking to him just gets so. And then people with low self-esteem, that could get annoying with like.
But generally speaking, people who. Because when you have high self-esteem, usually, a lot of the time, it isn't earned.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Usually they're totally blinded by their ego and they think they're amazing. Now, people with low self-esteem, I think it could be possible that they're like, oh, I fuck everything up all the time, and in actuality, they're not really that bad, but they just are too hard on themselves. But I would be inclined to believe that people that are down on themselves, as opposed to having a big ego, are more honest, at least, because they're not lying and saying, "Well, I'm great."
Yeah, they could be more honest. I guess it depends what you're looking for, because you definitely don't want to work with someone with low self-esteem.
No.
They're not going to bring in sales. They're not going to, like, produce very well. So you don't want that. So for society as a whole, you want people with more higher self-esteem.
That's true, yeah. They're much more efficient.
But when you're talking about people, like, confiding in people or, like, conversating with people or things like that, maybe low self-esteem might be better because you don't have he's not a liar. Higher self-esteem people are generally going to be more lonely. They're going to be more outcasted. Because they don't need anybody else. They don't need to talk to other people. They don't feel that they need to share their emotions with other people, or they don't need to team up with other people. So a lot of times they're going to be the people that are lone wolves in society, and those lone wolves are good for society because they produce. You know, they sell. You know, they're entrepreneurs. They build society, and that's still good. But low self-esteem, they don't do shit for society or the community. They don't provide anything. So low self-esteem is bad when you're talking about an overarching community society sense. So I personally would side with people with high self-esteem, and I'd rather honestly have friends with high self-esteem that are arrogant and liars, because I just treat everyone like they're lying until proven. I've talked about this before, but I'll trust you. I'll trust what you're saying. I'll take what you're saying at base value, at word value. And I'll trust, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and trust that you're being honest with me. But if I have the slightest bit of proof that you've lied, I will jump on you like a freaking scorpion up your ass. and there's nothing you can do about it, because I expect everyone to lie to me, but I can't assume them guilty until I have evidence. So I assume you're lying, but until I'm given evidence that you are lying, I'm gonna act as if you are honest. Does that make sense?
I really admire that, because it's really irritating to me when people assume no one's ever fucking honest, and
Right.
that irritates me so much.
Now, see, if I get evidence that you're being unhonest with me,
with evidence,
then and if
absolutely.
that starts piling up, then I will no longer give you the benefit. I'll treat you like okay, just using by inductive reasoning, I can assume that you are going to be lying the majority of the time.
Yeah.
Until then, I start getting evidence that you're telling me the truth. And so I think that's a good stance to hold.
Yeah,
I think
it's it's just like,
and then it gives people the baseline amount of respect that they deserve. Nobody deserves respect because they have to earn it. But what I mean is, decency, like human decency, like being honest, having integrity. It gives people that decent baseline that they need to not feel worthless. Like they're worth something. They're a human being. You want to treat them, all that good stuff. Well, it's fun talking to everybody.
Sure.
Always.
If you want to make sure you see more of us, you know what to do. Peace, I do.
Yeah.
Dude, that was lovely. That conversation. That was magical.
Hope you keep it in there.
I'll name the episode like RESPCT. I got what it means to me.